Southern Mayo here. Today I want to talk to you about the attacks that are going on against MGTOW out there, and they're getting to be pretty regular. And they're trying to shut down channels. Is what they're trying to do. They're trying to take away our voice out here. Understandably, this is probably the last domain, you might say, of us being able to get together and talk as men and educate one another. So they're trying to shut that down. And what they're doing is they're trying to get us into kind of a hate group classification. And it's due to the way they're treated at the sites. They're verbally attacked when they get on the board, on the comment board. They're banned, for making any statements, things of this nature. And they're running back to YouTube with this stuff. And accounts are getting flagged, and some channels are getting shut down. So understand that it is a coordinated attack going on out there. I had noticed it when I had my little troll pop up here. I also had about a 20%, over 20% jump in women viewership while she was doing her thing. Once she got shut down, then, and I didn't ban her, she still can make comments. But once I kind of cut off communication with her, then those women went away, and we're back down to where we were at before. So, they were kind of grouped up out there. I think if I'd have played their game, they would have come through one at a time, starting the same kind of ruckus. So as men going our own way, we need to be advised of what's going on, and start changing the tone of the conversation. We need to start rising above their pettiness and start in using their nature against them in a gentlemanly fashion, just by using reason, logic. Trust me, you call a feminist cupcake, that is probably more hurtful to her than calling her a bitch. She's expecting bitch. Cupcake she's not, and that's kind of talking down to her, and she doesn't like that. Alright, but yet there's nothing offensive in it. So there's going to be women coming out here. I have a friend, a personal friend, know her in real life, not just internet, who has come out to look at the channel, and also she was curious about Red Pill and what was going on, how what's happening, and she was trying to gather information to help her son, who was in a pretty abusive relationship. So her questions were legitimate. She is not interested in upsetting the manosphere out there by any stretch of the imagination, but she would be attacked, and she is the type of woman, you attack her, she's going to attack right back. She's the kind of lady, if you tried to punch her in the eye, you'd find yourself in the middle of a fist fight. Very tough lady. But she was meaning no harm. She was actually trying to get answers to the questions. And we're going to see more and more of that as MGTOW grows and it begins to affect women's lives more and more. Because right now a lot of women are just ignorant to what's going on out there. And they still think that feminism is about equal rights. So, don't be surprised that we have more women stopping by to ask about it. This isn't a private club. It is social media. They're going to be here. They're going to show up. And it's how we address it, We want to stand there as gentlemen, educated men, who will use logic and reason to answer a question, and we will also use your nature against you in a gentlemanly fashion should you decide to start launching little verbal attacks. The best way to deal with them is if you can't deal with a woman in that kind of a situation and she starts in on you, ignore her. Just say, ma'am, I really don't want to continue any further conversations with you, and cut it off. And no matter how many comments she leaves, ignore her. By her nature, that in itself will drive her away. But as I said, you're going to find more and more women entering into these channels primarily because they do have questions. A lot of times they'll present those questions respectfully. Other times, maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But we want to be the men in control and not play their game. If they come out here to be a, be a little smart ass, we're going to still kill them with kindness. But we will talk very condescending to them. This is, you listen to yourself, honey. You're beginning to see what the problem is if you just pay attention to what's flowing out of your little fingertips. So we need to be the bigger men. We talk about getting in and getting back in the role of control. But yeah, we can't control even women coming out here making comments to us. Guys, we're not thinking clearly on that issue. Women need to understand that the men at MGTOW are not going to play their little emotion peeling games. We're going to deal in logic, reason, and fact. And if they're not prepared to deal in those areas, then they're talking to the wrong men. They need to go find themselves some little white knight they can, cry on his shoulder. We just need to stand up and do what's right. And that'll take away a lot of what's going on out there with these attacks. We don't want to be known as women haters. I don't know about you guys. I don't hate women. I don't like what the females of this country and other Western countries have done. They have really ruined society. But is it all women? No, it's not. It's a fairly small percentage. Have large groups of women went along with it? Yeah. But they've also believed that this is all about equality. It's not. And the younger they are, the more indoctrinated they are, and the more dangerous they are. So be advised of that. And we're going to see more and more of that. There isn't going to be a sit back and enjoy the decline, guys. You are the target of the decline. Alright? If you'd like to watch it from behind bars somewhere, that's what their goal is. So, be the man, stand up, deal with the situation. Do it as a gentleman, do it with class. That will tick them off worse than anything because you're taking away their weapons. Women like to shame. That's because women don't like to be shamed. Use their nature against them. And like I said, if you're in the middle of red pill rage and haven't broke free of that yet, don't worry about it. Don't get involved with them. Let them meet dead silence from you. Just politely tell them, I don't want to have a conversation with you. And that'll be the last thing you message to her. Take control. Be the man. These women need to start seeing real men. And that's what MGTOW needs to be. Real men, going their own way, who's had enough of the nonsense. And that's all there is to that. Seriously, we just need to stand up and say, there's nothing wrong with being masculine. There's nothing wrong with being a man. Take a deep drag off our cigar and blow smoke at them. Just, be done with it. Like I said, ignore them. They'll disappear. But I see no problem with showing a woman, if she comes with legitimate questions and does so respectfully, answering her questions. I do not want to start long-term chats with any of them. But you'll see that by my comments, even to the women that have been out here, I handle them as a gentleman. I do not cuss them out. There's no point in it. I show them that they're dealing with a man who understands his place and expects her to understand her place and to mind her place. If she gets too far out of line, then I'm going to deal with her. Boys, have a good day. Talk to you later.